Cody's just a bum. Cody's this, Cody's that, Cody's this. Cody's me, bro. Let me be me.
The 100K bags challenge. Yes. So how it works, guys, is 50K goes to the coin developer, and then to do whatever with their 50K, support development, marketing the project in any way they want. And then 50K goes to the token holders through a USDC per rata airdrop to those holders. And there are some stipulations here. Eligibility: coins must be launched on bags, obviously. Must use one app, as I mentioned. Organic growth: no bots, bundles, or wash trading. Creator wallet must be verifiable, subject to manual review. So there will be some fair play activity here, and the team will review it.
Straight into it. We got the excitement from the crowd.
Caught my stretches, man.
Let's go, dude. That's what you want to do. That's how you know you're ready to come up here and crush it. So Russ,
yeah,
that's exactly right. Russ, you got a lot of support here in the chat, so we appreciate you coming up, and we're excited to get into everything with HUBZZ.
It's Hub. Oh, HUBZZ. Yeah. I have a story if you want to go there, but I'll dig into. HUBZZ is there's some deep lore behind it. But happy to see the community here rallying. That's a big reason why I gave this token a real look. I don't know if you want to know kind of the origin of that. Dude, all right, we can start there. It's pretty. It's an interesting one because I had my developer who I thought was hacked. Right, his name's Theo. And I'll mention his token here in a second. But he was so opposed to crypto, and it was kind of annoying because I'm like, dude, our project literally that is it. Like, we're not going to be decentralized unless we do A, B, and C. And then all of a sudden, I think I see him posting a contract address, and I actually replied from the official account, like, he's been hacked. I didn't even wait because I just knew that this was not him, and I hit him up on Slack. I'm like, bro, you're hacked. And he's like, no, man, that's real. Somebody sponsored a token launch for me, and he scraped in like 20K in less than, it was like a week span, man. And it was actually just encouraging to the whole concept because I didn't do pump fun. And so this was kind of like new. I'm a builder. Like, I've been building in the space since 2017. Early days, helped with CryptoKitties, Axie Infinity, like doing third-party stuff, helping grow their communities. And I just saw the full, like, before it was cool, during it's cool, after it was cool. Like, the whole spectrum. And I'm still just as in love with this tech as I was since day one. But seeing his eyes kind of go googly-eyed, it really kind of sparked something for me because, like, maybe there's something here. And I was stoked because he'd been working on this project for 2 years, which is familiar or similar to what we've been doing. And now, because he was strategizing on how's he going to make money off this, thing they put so much time in. And this is before Claude and all that jazz. So it's top tier stuff. And it's also how I found him. So long story short is I was inspired and I looked into this. And then as I was looking into it, someone says, we should launch a token for you. And all I said was tempting. And then boom, it exploded, man. I responded to a tweet. And so
the fateful words.
Dude, what's so crazy is that, it was just kind of this experience of all these people showing up and rallying. And obviously some are there for certain reasons. Others, it's like token price go up, whatever. They don't really care about the fundamentals. It's just price action. So when they win news. So anyway, but through all that, there's been some like freaking rockstar community members. And so we had planned a token for way later because, dude, like, I spent 6 months on the tokenomics for this like freaking Mona Lisa, right? Oh, thank you for pulling that up, man. It's a huge time saver. But yeah, we've just gotten, like, we have the best human capital known to man, and we were doing this like the grassroots way and the right way, and with all like the proper regulation, squeaky clean, and then this happens, right? So now we're here, and I'm leaning in, and it's still a process of discovery. Like, I have been just figuring out as I go, but hit me with the lightning round. I definitely don't want to spend too much time with the storytelling.
No, this is good. So wait, if I'm understanding this, you were planning to launch a token, and then you had someone from Bags tokenize your project for you. Is that how I'm getting this?
Yeah. So I mean, dude, it gets better actually. So we not only, like, 6 months of going went into, because it's 2 years. It's over 2 years now, but I started actually working on this, and luckily I did well enough in crypto where we had an angel investor, but I matched his injection early on. And so because of that, I was able to work without distraction for that long, creating what I feel like is, the next evolution of Discord in 3D, or X Spaces in 3D with the 3D additive for mainstream audiences. Pretty much picking up on what Zuckerberg couldn't do with 70 billion. I almost wanted to crack it. It's like the ultimate challenge. How do you make the spatial internet and do something cool with less money? so that's where we are. What was it? So the tokenomics, building like nothing Web3 token, no one has like nailed it yet. So that's why it took so long. So our configuration was just very unique. It's almost like our secret sauce, right? And so I was in the process of getting all these peer reviews for the official, what I call is the blue paper, which is 56 pages. With a blue paper, it's a little bit extended, a version of a light paper or a white paper. You give the why behind all your decisions, inner workings, mechanics, things like that. So like I'm like this, and then freaking Bags, man, out of nowhere, just like it was like a sucker punch that turned into a light pillow slap, and then you kind of liked it. You're like,
then you fell asleep on it.
Yeah, dude. And then I'm snuggling with it right now. And it's a weird.
Oh my gosh, you and Dom get along great here.
You know,
Dom just says funny things too sometimes.
Dude, you gotta keep the audience hyped. No, I honestly, again, the reason why it's the people who came out of this is why I'm making I'm basically working it all into the grand system, and I've been teasing the how it works and stuff like that. But like we're here, like the reason why we've spent so long is I expect this project to outlive me, and I can tell stories and give details about any of these things. But I want to get your questions answered.
Yeah,
first.
and we're really not in much of a rush. I think we have, like 20 more minutes, so we don't even have to speed run it. But you have a big undertaking here, right? It reads HUBZZ. Should I just say that the rest of the thing? It reads HUBZZ is a social entertainment platform that brings communities together in an immersive open world. This is not an easy undertaking, right? It's not easy to break into a social platform and make something that does really, really well. Give us an idea of what your vision here is and kind of why you're trying to break into this sphere.
Because the internet sucks. I mean, I go on the internet, it's so extractive, right? It's and it's just PvP. Agents sort of help put some jet fuel there, but it's a little detached and it feels less painful. Anyway, but I wanted something that I would use, right? Spending all the time that I had spent in Web3, I never felt like anyone was doing something that I could put my full self in. Like I joined a bunch of teams. I worked for a block stack. It turned into stacks.org for a year and a half. I worked for Terra Virtua, and then we did stuff with like Legendary Studios, Merriman Pictures. Like I had like all these interesting insights into these realms of like people thinking just in general. And so I just wanted to apply it all, doing something I felt like no one has nailed yet. And then you couldn't just solve one problem. You can't just solve NFTs without giving a way of showcasing it. And you can't just have a way of showcasing without having some stickiness and return value. And so it kind of evolved into what you see now, which can be kind of, depending on who's using it, a lot of things to a lot of people. But what I would dare say it is the only, and this is the dirty word, metaverse that has a chance at mainstream adoption right now. I believe that what Zuckerberg put together is cool for 20 years, unless the tech kind of meets where his vision was at. But we went so heavy into accessibility and convenience, loading like a website to making it where you feel like you can be with your community in a virtual space where there's ownership, like all these things. And again, like it really grew. First, it was, I want to create a really cool virtual space I can kick it with my buddies. And just a little bit of a side note, like I think subconsciously I'm trying to relive my like teenager days when we had LAN parties, and I'm trying to bring LAN parties online. Like that's like somehow, dude, like I think that's like the ultimate goal deep down. I just want to hang out with my buddies again, because we're in a world where everyone's just so spread out, moving to whatever job pays the most. I don't know if you know much about the third place. It's a type of community. It's like the coffee shop or town halls or whatever. No expectation of relationships, but you can just be there among people. That's we're missing.
Kind of what this stream is for us.
Yeah, dude. Like you're satiating something that like I get sometimes when I'm playing like a video game. My wife's like, "You're glowing," and I'm like, "I feel like I scratched an itch." It's just the zero expectation hangouts, and that's what I love about HUBZZ is you can pop in there. Even now, like those are people just chilling, and I call this a hyper casual metaverse, the first hyper casual metaverse, because it allows you to have this running in the background of your PC, and it's not like cooking your RAM. It's meant for it. Most people forget they have it on. If I know a person or two there have forgotten they left it on. That's the whole point. We wanted to make it so lightweight that you could just interact with it. We go all the way to VR. Like if you logged it, like you can actually hot swap the first person view, which is wicked cool. And if you want me to share my screen at some point, I can give you all like the
please stuff. Go for it,
dude. Let me make sure that I'm not. How do I this one? Okay, present.
That's right. We're streamers. Our PCs are terrible, so feel free to.
Dude,
gaming PCS here.
This is not my gaming PC. Like it's a clunker. That MacBook though is very enticing. Or it's not MacBook. The thing that they're giving away.
The Mac Minis.
Oh, the Mac Minis. Yeah.
Dude, I thought it was. I didn't think it was real, but that's a crazy thing. But they've done like they bought the Whiff hat, so it's like of course they're gonna give away Mac Minis as well.
True.
I know they're expensive. Did you guys know about the whole Finbags Whiff hat? $800,000 they spent.
Dude, I have no idea. I've never heard of this.
Yeah, sure, dude. Like Finbags and the Whiff hat, right? The Whiff hat, the dog Whiff hat.
Yeah.
He bought the physical version of that for $800,000.
Oh my goodness.
And I thought that's kind of amazing. Like his idea of cultural encapsulation. And I love the meme stuff that becomes more viral, and then that's something we hold sacred. Like I know the people who actually fractionalized the Doge photo, bought it for $4 million. Now DAO owns it, and I love that was already something we were really cool with. And with Finbags, doing things like that, because he knows that cultural is a store of value. Like cultural, iconic things like that are a store of value to some extent. It's like he kind of has already tapped into what I was like trying to accomplish here, because we have storytelling, allure, and we love the things that we can pull in from, you know, internet culture, the Web3 scene, and then have it to be like NPCs. Like we have Laszlo's Pizza, like Laszlo's Pizzeria. Laszlo is the guy who bought the 10,000 Bitcoin. Or
can you show us the pizzeria? How do we navigate?
I mean, dude, let me skip ahead to that one, and I'm not tabbed ready for it. Hold on, let me at least
start.
Yeah, it's all good. Take your time, and I'll ask you something while you're pulling this up.
Yeah,
this is like very NFT, very metaverse coded, obviously. What and you come from a NFT background. You mentioned HUBZZ, one of the games and NFTs I had minted, which I guess kind of played back in the day. But that being said, what are your biggest learnings and you think the biggest maybe pitfalls of the NFT season we saw back in what was it, 2021?
Innovation stopped a lot. Like it wasn't even that innovation stopped. Innovation never held the spotlight. I always get very angry at OpenSea because they never even nailed NFTs before they started saying we want to be the everything platform. And I'm like, is that everyone's doing that, man? Like, what the heck, dude? You didn't even get this one sector right. Because right now they're like a freaking eBay for 2D images, which does nothing. Is like, and that's the return value. Like, if you don't have return value, then like it's like when you play like World of Warcraft, right? And you run a dungeon with your buddies, you get this sick piece of armor. That armor doesn't have value unless your buddies are in there to be jealous, you know? Like that's the whole thing. It's like if you can't get the people there and get the people's friends there, like that's the reason why PFPs in general has had a little bit of staying power, because they exist on a platform, you know, where people can, you know, have at least that what I call is flexibility. You can flex on people. So I think they never figured out how to get people to even think that there was value there. So showcasing is number one, utilities number two, which is just tying in certain parameters. Like for what did work was Collabland, you know, and they do token gated Discord servers. There's a million of them now. It's a big thing. And that's another kind of, but these are just it's such low hanging fruit. Now I get sort of tired of these like slow iterations of innovation in this space particularly, but that's just sort of how it works, especially in the corporate world where they're.
And is that what you think brings like, so these insights, is that what you have on your platform? Is you have the ability to showcase certain items or looks and then.
Oh yeah, dude. And I can show you, I'll probably start.
Whoa, that's a drone thing. That's sick.
Yeah, dude. So what's the first thing you do when you see a celebrity in the real world is you want to take a selfie. So we just have a drone that flies in and you can snap a selfie. It actually has the timestamp where you were at when, probably going to make it where they can sign it later. I built an app before that was for signed selfies. So
what's the grand vision of this? Like, I think we get the idea. It's a social platform. It's a little more interactive. You can just chill in it. Like, what's the grand vision for you when you think about HUBZZ?
Our flywheel starts at content creators reaching their audience in a more immersive and engaging way. I mean, honestly, we're hoping to be take the lessons from the end of Ready Player One and apply them ahead of time, so people aren't just uploading their consciousness to some Neuralink garbage way down the road. But let me back up. The grand vision is just genuinely making the internet fun, fair, and rewarding. And that's just like that's what Web3 can do. We finally have all the tools and mechanisms available to do it right, and it's all getting better and better and easier. And so for me, it's just creating a platform that's more human and allows you to engage with your community in a way that feels more real. Not trying to replace the golden standard, you know, real world community, but allowing for that to actually take, you know, a place online where you actually share ownership. Because I that's my background is community development, and what I've learned is no one's nailing what it means to be a community online. And I think everyone's going to be wondering, like, why is this thing popping off? And it's because I feel like we're on a human level, we're satiating something that no one even knew. It's the ultimate latent demand is what I call it. You know, bringing communities online for the first time. A dynamic forum is not a community. It may be a message board to get you to meet in real life. Discord's not a community. It's again, dynamic message. It's a chat with some video interaction stuff, no sense of presence, no ownership. And if I were to get in my deck, I would kind of show my thesis on all this. So it's really, I mean, here's the thing. I want to raise the standard for what how people interact in Web3, raise the standard for, because that's my biggest worry is people don't see the true standard of how this should look, and they're just settling for whatever the next corporate nonsense gets shoveled in their face. I
have experience with Decentraland, and I was there, and I worked for a company that spent a lot of money on some of the biggest plots in Decentraland. You know, there you can own land and you know, edit it and build all sorts of stuff. Is that similar to this, or how do you get like a kind of like give us the features, I guess, of this world? Is it you just drop into an area? Like, how do you customize all this?
So Decentraland, Sandbox, they all did what I called is they leaned way too heavily in the. You ever watch Field of Dreams? If you build it, they will come.
But I understand the.
Well, basically, this is if you build it, they will build it, and then they will come. And then when everyone went back to work after COVID, all the adults that they thought were going to be building all these awesome things to bring on the masses, like Roblox. The Roblox method, the UGC model, does not work for adults, and it like adults are in a time famine or hustle culture. It's usually one of those two. And so our approach is so different. Like we're highly curated. You can actually jumpstart your community and then have your zone built out as what we call it. It's not parcels. We have zones. We use building blocks, and we have this thing called volumetric scarcity. We have utility baked into these instances that you can spin off all. Dude, but it's 3 clicks or less. Everything you can do, and it's almost automated now. Where when you acquire a zone, less than 10 minutes, you can have your full build out, where you can actually sell your own subspaces within your zone. And then there's a ticketing system baked in. There's a rental system baked in for certain space types, right? So that is a huge one. We have gamification tied in for if you're spending time at events, if you're actually exploring these public spaces. We have randomized drops. If you own a private space, we tabulate for maybe not be an airdrop later. But all the reasons to engage early, because I believe in a return on time for the jumpstart mechanism. It titrates. It's like Bitcoin over time. We don't do the pure rewarding to get people incentivized, but it's a great mechanism. So yeah, man, this is it's not like Decentraland, and I love the guys over there and high respect for them. They kind of paved the way. I got to benefit from the lessons from like what they did and didn't do. Decentraland also is a finite supply, which is a bit of a problem because you can have 2 extremes. You can be the meta, like Meta did something where it's the infinite void. So it's like a website. Like everyone's going to have their own web page, and it's actually 3D, and there's no value there. You need an interconnected open world that can scale based on demand. So what we do is we have zones, a certain amount of initial zones, and then when we shift to fully decentralized, that's when we actually have these rolling auctions for outer zones that spiral out indefinitely. And it's
so you have 30 initial like public spaces, and then you're going to have a private sale that goes beyond that for private spaces. Is that correct?
So you're talking about, so we have our own zone, right? And in our zone, we're at the dead center. Actually, I can show you the image here.
Please.
My screen sharing?
You're up there, yeah.
Hold on, dude, I didn't have my tabs set up. Oh, that's
okay.
Here we go. So this is us, right? And these are, the existing partners right now. It's shifted around a little bit more, and it's actually grown. Actually, there's 4 or 5 more, but these are the central zones. They actually cost, believe it or not, $25K each. And the way that we have
$25,000 each.
25, yeah, dude, and that gives us $5 million of runway, right? And here's the thing. Your response to that number. Your response to that number is interesting because you have these like Mountain Dew, I think spent $100K just to design their parcel into Decentraland.
Dude, I was selling 6-figure plus. Like I did Forever 21. We did all of Fashion Week. So Tommy Hilfiger, Ralph Lauren, everyone. Dope. We did all of them, and they were multi 6-figure deals.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure about your response being like that's crazy. I'm like in
2026 it is. Well, but back in 2021 it was people were on CNN talking about this.
Well, hear me out, because you could get lost in euphoria. Euphoria doesn't have a ceiling, right? I don't know what the value is. It's discovery of
no, it's not criticism. It's just more
it's actually founded in logic actually. But yeah, what was I going to say? The way that we actually do this is we get communities that have an appetite, we get communities that have members that have an appetite for something like this, right? We strategically allocate this to them. The monetization mechanisms baked in, ticketing, subspace sales, right? That helps them pay us back the original 25K, right? And then that allows for them to just basically have this free revenue generating thing. And I probably shouldn't say that. My attorney's going to be like, why? But I'm like, it's too much alpha. But this is it. Did you see this image? And I know I'm like winding down on the time, so I want to try and like land the plane, all the 20 of them I have up right now. But this is the best way to capsulate what HUBZZ is and how it works. And if I'm ever quoted, I hope for HUBZZ it's this one. But essentially, it's X Spaces, but behind it is a 3D immersive virtual world that is awesome.
Okay, so my question becomes, how do you get people onto this? You can build, the coolest, I guess, metaverse.
Oh yeah, dude. So my thing here. So let me just show you, because I'm in here right now. The way that we actually spin up adoption is actualizing all of the content creators and communities in our waitlist right now. But we have a waitlist because we want to do these bespoke ribbon cutting marketing messages.
How many on the waitlist?
Right now, like content creators, 15. 10 of which are LOI, like locked in, all in. We actually have, believe it or not, there's 40 plus, including our team advisors and everyone, 40 plus. That number is, but like who just jumped in here? Oh, Monami. But so to back up, our flywheel content creators communities, they bring their own audience. We have our growth mechanism, or our market, like we have a product led growth strategy, and the virality that sort of, dude, everyone's flooding, dude. Everyone knows this link already. But I wanted to show you like one little quick thing, because cool. This is an event system. If you go to an event, dude, 4 minutes. What do I choose? I want to show you this. Hold on here.
You have a little extra time. Just take your time.
All right. So this is like the hot swapping between, like these guys.
Overhead and 3D.
Yeah, dude. And we go all the way to virtual reality, right? And so if you kind of understand what this actually means. Like it's really cool if you're on mobile and you're looking down at someone in virtual reality and they have a little bit extra range of motion. They can move their head and arms differently. It's like you're in God mode looking down. It's wild. So when it comes to return value and getting people in the door, obviously there's ownership, the pre-existing community affiliation that they have, or content creators. It's almost like we're the Patreon for content creators if they have an entire zone with us, right? So instead of having to, be on a blog or a feed, they actually own something within a space that they have the content creator pop in every now and again, and they can engage with them like it's almost as real as it is in real life, but happy medium, convenient and real. And then what is the other stuff, dude? Because I'm literally trying to make sure that I can touch on certain things. Hold on. Oh yeah, and this is yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, how about we just start riffing through a few things, and if it pops in your mind, you can just pop in and say it whenever.
Yeah, dude. I want to put a quarter in and then like keep it
every minute. No, but can you talk us through a bit of the economics on this? I think at the end of the day, it comes down to how can you guys produce meaningful revenue? Maybe walk us through a few of those models that you guys have thought through.
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways for a zone owner to make money. There's a lot of ways for a content creator to make money through the ticketing system. But early adopters, obviously, with assets and stuff. When it comes to anyone who, we can touch on the bag stuff and the plans there and this token and whatnot.
Yes,
so please. I flip-flopped on even having a token. I realized that it's important if you plan on total decentralization because you need the incentive driver for what we would have as offsetting the computational costs of what AWS would be spending on anyway. So yes, there is a token, but the earlier this token here would be a little bit different. And you'd have to understand the way that our economy works. You go from stables to what I call a soft stable, which is you lock it away in a contract, we issue you credits. This doesn't really exist, at least not in the public's eye entirely. And this is sort of a bit of our secret sauce, but it's pretty simple. You lock your tokens away, we issue credits, right? 64 credits to $1. You go in our economy. There's no transaction fees, right? You have on OpenSea and whatnot. You can trade. Just enjoy the experience of being inside the ecosystem. But when you're ready to cash out, there's a 4% off-ramp fee. And there's a percentage of that goes to our operations, of course, to keep the lights on. It's going to be like a balancing act, and we can change it up and stuff. But some of that percent may or may not go back to a certain type of NFT. And I don't want to use any specific words yet because I haven't got the green light from my people. But essentially, using this token for HUBZZ, I think it's just a better way. Like, I'm tired of VC traditional VC fundraising stuff, and so I've basically decided to whatever their reward mechanisms. I just converted that into what this token is, so they can burn their HUBZZ, right, in order to have this NFT. That NFT allows them to have what we were already going to have as automated dividends for the early believers. So that's just one. There's other things with holding, and I believe one of the bigger things is the early assets in world because of the store value of having A, B, and C, especially custom characters and stuff. Though that's a big one too, but not.
So HUBZZ could be used for custom characters, UGC, that kind of stuff.
Oh, dude, like not so UGCs. That's a whole nother can of worms. And is screen still sharing? Because I just want to show you one last thing. Like this is the app, right? That's this is what I call it. You have the engagement layer, which is what's in right here, right? So everything that you saw is inside this layer here. I call it the game engine, but it's what we built first because we wanted to prove that this could actually exist, load like a website, responsive, accessible, whatever. The next step is the actual social wrapper, which is this. The crazy thing is the algorithmic discovery. So you just keep scrolling and we serve you live activity. So yeah, here's the thing. Here's your NFTs, right? All the things that you've purchased through our quarterly catalog, curated, whatever. The whiff hat, the bags hat, like we actually have a beanbag chair designed already and prepped to be used and sold. And I'm gonna have it where Finbags can claim the money for all the proceeds from selling that. I'll just leave it there with a button that says claim, and then that way he can signal his affiliation with HUBZZ to the world. I don't know if you get the joke because that's the whole big thing. Claim.
Yeah, no, that's a nice tie, a nice nod there.
No, it's real.
We see Pudgy Penguins do this really well. They've actually converted, I think, a lot of their like mind share from the NFT days and the metaverse days to like physical products, and they've built out a really, really nice IP. How do you guys think about the IP?
Yeah, I mean, we have our own IP, but we're a just like the same way we're a platform for communities, we're a platform for other IP. It's more of a through line for IPs to have their showcasing, right? And to be quite honest with you, there are massive IPs that we say no to because we're kind of rooting for the underdogs that didn't have the chance. So we're resurfacing things like, do you guys know the Yetis? So Yetis are front line, man. Sure, they look dead, but they're not. They have awesome people still there. They just didn't get their trust fund baby uncle to support them all this time. So anywho, so when it comes to our IP, we do have IP. We have our own character. It falls in line with the lore. And as communities join, it's almost like our Marvel or DC universe that bakes itself into the story of how hubs came to be. And so it's a fun thing that we have. It's almost like a what do you call it? Like a decentralized Marvel or DC. What would that be called? I don't even know.
A virtual world metaverse.
Well, it's like so it's like a collective
metaverse IP.
Yeah.
IP.
It's fun, man. It's you see it. Own the Doge is doing something really cool because they bought the.
So I have to ask you this because Solana posted about bringing back these kind of legacy, quote unquote, legacy categories like NFTs, gaming, metaverse, etc. They said let's reinvigorate. The Solana account posted that out. I don't know if you have any specific thoughts on that or how they're actually going to do that. And then we want to wrap kind of with future thoughts here.
Yeah, how they're going, like so for me, I mean, there's a lot of abandoned projects out there, and that's a whole nother sector in a plan that I have for the long term when I have more fun money. But buying out defunct brands because or defunct Web3 projects, hopefully to allow for the creators to come back and do their thing. But like there is a problem for like it's a systemic problem for these projects. Like with the Bags token, you're not making any sort of sustainable income to keep the lights on. I mean, sure, one developer maybe if there's volume that's just volatile, like it's like hype FUD, and if you do that well enough, you can make enough on the revenue share to actually like do some magic. But maybe Claude will suffice the gap. I don't know, but yeah, man, like in terms of getting older projects just to come back, and like that's something that we wanted to do anyway, just within Hubs. But it's a tricky, it's a layered kind of, you have to have, it's harder than it sounds. And that's sort of why I just want to surprise people with the revival of old NFT projects and having instant utility in world. And if I'm able to provide funds to the owners of said IP or whatever, to be able to kind of like spend more time and attention on their baby, that would be a win, I think. Whether we're able to create something sustainable off of it, I think we can, but that time will tell. I don't know what Solana is planning on doing, but hopefully it's not just they're just picking and choosing.
And Russ, if you had to make an elevator pitch for Bags here, for the hackathon,
for the 100K challenge,
and the 100K challenge,
for me winning, or just them doing this because they need more.
Well, I know that the Bags hackathon or the Bags app. It's based on market cap.
Yeah,
you guys have to make a big push there, but for the hackathon in general.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, and you probably haven't seen my tweet, but I said the 50K, I would just buy all hubs. Like I would spend all of the 50K because the thing is we were actually in the middle of a raise anyway. So it's like the 50K, I buy back all this Hubs token instantly, right? They get their 50K airdrop to, a handful of people, which I happen to like be close with because we become friends with the top holders and stuff, which is great. They get their, actually we have a few big community members that are like, I'll lock mine away, I'll do this. And it's cool to see everyone kind of rally behind just the success of the project itself. But yeah, my big statement is kind of the same as before. I plan just to friggin' buy it back. And that's pretty much what I can give back, the least I can do for the community and to help us stand out. I think we stand out anyway. I think that in terms of I think our team is it doubles the Bags team overall. And I think that's a bit wild. The Bags team it's a bit interesting in how they're able to run so lean and be so untouchable. And I think I don't know. I actually end up I want to help them kind of evolve this and hopefully we get deeper integrations with what they're doing. I was even talking about doing a bespoke instance, like an entire instance of hubs for them, and that was like the high caliber. Like if we're able to reach this milestone, then that's like the ultimate. Like if the community, if we push it and we get it center stage on this, but we haven't been getting any attaboys. I mean, Finn follows us and stuff like that, and I've talked to a handful of people from their team. But that's the thing that I would like to see. Now, in terms of the competition, I always believe that I'm always good up for a good underdog story, and I believe that we're an underdog story. We'll be.
And you've applied to the Bags hackathon, the $4 million hackathon.
Oh yeah, so we one of the most interesting is the discovery mechanic of being in cahoots with Bags, like how many people find us and stuff. So yeah, I've applied for that. I'm hopeful, and I do think that we, at least in some capacity, like I better have a friggin' new Mac thingy sitting on my desk or something soon. No, I don't know. I would be a little bit like cheesed if Finbags is like, no, we did these Claude dev project. They're cool because I don't know on the surface. Anyway, but I would be surprised if we didn't at least hit one tier of that. We'll play it by ear, but I understand why they're doing it though on the macro level as well. Like they need utility. They're getting pushed off of X. They have to have a flywheel that doesn't rely on claim the fees, bro, and it needs to be more sustainable. And hopefully these apps allow for more sustainability.
Yeah, the apps are an interesting thing. I like them because you can kind of configure programmatically.
It's the future. It really is
build,
good. Yeah.
Because there's a lot of detractors on the fee side a little bit where it's like people see it as a tax maybe, but if you can direct those fees to things like Dex boosts and stuff like that, it's pretty cool.
It needs more innovation, but I think it's a great starting place. Just because fees cannot sustain alone. Like you need to actually have reason to create volume, and so mechanics
you got to have a business too, right? Like if you're building a product, you have to have users and stuff like that.
But
so
this is like it seems like the lowest hanging fruit for instant utility, even where people's heads are at right now for adoption, right? They're like, oh, numbers go up for compound liquidity. stuff like that. But yeah, I think they have a chance to really evolve this thing into what they are kind of broadcasting is the next. Like I see it as like a Kickstarter replacing the VC curation nonsense that we see all the time, just picking and choosing based on who you know, never really innovating, and at the expense of the consumer. Like we don't get our good products and services because of they're just picking who's going to have the next time to innovate. So innovation is a luxury of the wealthy. Hopefully Bags can do something to change that, giving everyone a shot to be.
They're a pretty generous team in my opinion in terms of what they've invested back. Russ, we have to leave it there. I think this is a good peek into your project, HUBZZ. And to be honest with you, I had no idea really what HUBZZ was building. And I've seen you kind of around the timeline. Your community was strong. I had no idea that you were like a quality, super awesome builder. So pretty happy to see that this is like a tier or S tier, I guess you would say, but this is a really good project.
So can I got to ask one more question, because you mentioned this at the end before I got a chance to butt in. You said you're actually going into a raise right now. Can you walk us through some of the details on that? How much are you guys seeking? Maybe do you have a lead for that? Do you have a runway that this is going to give you? Maybe
yeah.
Information.
I'll tell you that $1.5 million gets us. $1.5 million is 12 to 14 months runway, fully stacked team. We hit revenue around between the 6 and 8 month mark, and that is based on the soft commitments for the zone stuff. That million stretches to 6 million, so we can just kind of kick it and let the flywheel take the show with our content creator wait list. So we're not like, obviously I'm not supposed to like broadcast like the whole thing of like, usually you keep the, like, I don't just share the deck around and stuff like that, but we're good. I can say that. And we actually have said no to more opportunities than anyone would actually believe. No one actually believes me, and that's okay too. Like, I think this is going to be a surprised success that everyone's like, I knew, but I didn't think, but now I kind of get it. That guy's just freaking cooking in the back end of the kitchen, like the back kitchen. He's just like freaking mad scientist style. I promise you, it's my redemption arc for all the time that I've sacrificed to this. It's just like this Super Saiyan over 9,000. So
well, we appreciate that answer. Just had to touch on that because I thought it was pretty interesting. You kind of just threw it in there, and we
for sure. Dude, if you want to get me in the back channels, I'll hook you up. We'll talk. If anyone wants to back channel me, we can talk. You have to be cool though. We don't take money from just anyone. You have to be cool. And our community has to think you're cool. But if that works out, then cool.
Russ, if I had money, I'd send it your way.
Yeah, that makes me happy, man. I can go back to bed. Like, I feel like I won the day.
There you go. Well, your community is awesome. So we appreciate you coming up. Thanks for highlighting what you got building here, and we'll keep in the loop with you.
And thank you for having me. Take care.
Yep.
All right, Russ. Peace. Very cool. I think we got some time here. Shaw is supposed to be coming up either at 12:45 or 1:45.
I don't know, but we're on standby.
We're on standby, so we'll see. So I guess we'll have some time here, and if the Dominion Markets guys want to pop,
pull the chart up for HUBZZ real quick before we get too far, or HUBZZ as you like to say.
HUBZZ, baby, let's go. No, yeah, I got you with HUBZZ right here.
If you guys are looking for tokenomic naming designs, Dom's got your token name. He'll take your brand and make it something else.
Yeah, it's a good looking chart. Yeah. I mean, not much to add here other than it's just walking the dog up, and it continues to do so. It seems like they got 269 holders here, of course. 269 holders, some handful of 1%ers, 1+%ers, but these guys seem to be holding pretty strong. I will say, based on the community we saw coming here today, and thank you guys for coming in and showing some love. It seems like these guys are pretty good holders and pretty much here for the long term.
Trading is an adventure, and all adventures start with a quest. This is where your journey begins.